Resident Evil 4. Probably one of the best Resident Evils out there. Today, I'm going to teach you guys a few things that you may or may not have heard about Resident Evil 4. Enjoy. When Capcom began developing Resident Evil 4 in the early 2000s, they wanted to change Resident Evil forever. However, their plan began to crumble. Before releasing Resident Evil 4 that we know today, they went through 3 different versions of the game, and all of them were too paranormal. Capcom was wasting money on these unreleased versions, so they decided to change the director. The new director, Shinji Mikami, would change the view of Resident Evil forever, quite literally. Resident Evil 4 was developed for 9 platforms: GameCube, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, Wii, iPhone OS, and Zeebo, whatever the hell that is. Originally, Nintendo signed a contract to make the game GameCube exclusive, which was released in January 11th of 2005. 9 months later, the game was released on PlayStation 2, due to high popular demands. When the PlayStation version of the game released, it included a number of new features: a Simonetta, separate ways, a new costume, and a new weapon. Due to the fact that Capcom broke the contract with Nintendo, their partnership weakened. This may be the cause of the Wii not receiving the new Resident Evils, but that's all speculation. Resident Evil 4 changed the way that Resident Evils work today. It introduced many new features, such as the over-shoulder camera view, yellow herbs, quick-time events, and inventory management. A lot of people blame Resident Evil 4 for the cause of the horrible game Resident Evil 6. This is only partly true. Resident Evil 4 is responsible for all the quick-time events in the Resident Evils, but it never oversaturated the game with them. Resident Evil 4 is the last game to feature the genre survival horror, as the newer Resident Evils go for action. What a lot of people don't actually know is that the enemies are not actually zombies. They're normal people infected with the plague. The developers of the game wanted to make enemies more challenging, so they made this change. The plague allows the enemies to do things that zombies can't: build weapons, interact with each other in the environment, and even attempt to block Leon's bullets. Resident Evil 4 introduced some fun but challenging puzzles. I can still remember spending hours trying to figure out how to complete the sliding puzzle. It also introduced a new combat system. This new combat system allowed the player to aim anywhere he wanted. We all can't forget about the sub-bosses and bosses. One of the fan favorites is Dr. Salvador, also known as the Chainsaw Man. Developers wanted to boost up the horror factor in the game, so they said, fuck it, add a chainsaw. Dr. Salvador's character model is actually the same as one of the villagers, but with a potato sack on his head. Many people say that the Resident Evil series was killed by the changes made in Resident Evil 4, but the truth is that the game saved the series. If Resident Evil 4 had not sold well, Capcom would have no other choice but then to stop the series. Overall, the game changed everything. Something's good, something's bad. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. See you later.
Come on. Let's go home.
Sounds like a great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
Not quite. I still have to get you home safe.
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.